All right, y'all, let's get right into this topic right here. This is crazy. So I'm just leaving sheets, got my big gulp. Listen, this generation, old and young, this generation is weird. And this generation, something that's really wrong, something that's really immoral, something that's distrusting, whatever, like something that, backstabbing people, there's nothing wrong anymore. As long as it's entertaining some way to somebody, it's nothing wrong with it. It's just the way you take it. Check this out. And I don't know, I'm gonna tell you right now, black people when I was growing up wasn't into this kind of shit. All right? You had swingers, yeah. But it's not like everywhere you look, that's what was going on. That shit was like far and few. So now, here's the deal. This generation is like, as your man, you can't tell me shit. Right? As my woman, you being my woman, I can't tell you shit. Right? If I'm your man, I can't tell you shit. And I'm not trying to be funny or chauvinistic, but ladies, usually, it be y'all with that bullshit. Nobody can tell you nothing. If your man tell you, no, you showing too, what you doing? I'm comfortable. I'm all right. Ass cheeks out, titties all, everything out. All right, cool. So here's what's happening. Conversation. 30-year-old was in a conversation. A 22, and there was one dude, 40-something. I don't remember his age. I remember him saying he was in his 40s. But all of these guys are sitting here. So, motherfucker asked me, he said, hey, big dog. He said, let me ask you a question. You don't see that wrong, like, if, say, like, for example, like, if you got, you married or you dating or whatever, and, like, your girl is like, oh, my ex is in town, and he want to go out and eat and, chill and stuff like that or whatever. Like, ain't nothing wrong with that, right? I just looked at the motherfucker. And I looked at all of them. I said, before I even answer that, how many of y'all agree with that? The 30-year-old raised his hand. The 22-year-old, he raised, me. Like, yeah. I said, y'all think that's okay? It's okay, so let me ask you something. If you came home or walked in wherever and caught some dude bending your chick over, right? The same dude, how would you feel? He said, I don't think it'd come to that though. And like, cause like, I feel like this, right? People gonna do things for different reasons. So like, even like if my girl did that, I still love her and stuff. Like, people make mistakes. And I just shook my head. I said, all right, so listen. There's no need to even go further in this conversation. I said, you live your life, man. But now he's like, nah, but like, what you think though? I said, listen, it really doesn't matter what I think. I said, because you are cut from a completely different cloth. And you wouldn't understand a shit stain. Understand what I'm saying? From the detergent that you use to clean a shit stain. You wouldn't even know it. And he's like, but like, see, and I said, see, this is my point. You're trying to defend and make a point because you're trying to get me to agree and see things. Nah. So, now, anyway, let's not get into him. Let's just look at that. If you came home and your wife is riding some other dude or whatever, you telling me you going, what is, hey, just come talk to me when y'all done? I don't know what kind of shit y'all are on, man. But I looked and I said, yeah, this is that era of the simple-minded, man. They're a bunch of simps. Soft, weak, bunch of cucks. I got to say it like that. Because no real man is going to know he's being cheated on. Walk in on it on top of that. I still love her and forgive her and stuff because people make mistakes. Oh, I'm sorry. And he said, and the motherfucker said, it's not like I can't tell her what to do. Even if we was married and stuff, it's like, people got the right to do what they want. So they make up their mind that they don't want to do it no more. And I'm going to tell you something. there's a lot of people from this generation that agree with that bullshit. And I'm just like, nah, y'all crazy. So here's my thing. What's the purpose of settling down if you're gonna be fucking and sucking other people? What's the purpose? Y'all like a bunch of porno stars. They go fucking suck for a living. Got a bunch of different people, got them screaming, oh yes, oh God, fuck this shit out of me, sticking in my ass and all that. And then like, well, I come home to you. I love you. What I do with them is business. Nah, that's crazy. So basically, your woman got the right to fuck whoever she want, do whatever she want, and then if and when she makes up her mind she's gonna stop, then you're fortunate to have her time, and she's gonna dedicate her time to you and her presence and everything to you. So it's okay if she shares her body with somebody else, even if you don't really like it, you're just gonna put up with it because why? Because you love her. For that matter, that saying would have been, hey, get on your knees and suck his dick right now, or we done. And your ass should do it. And I'm not even shocked about it. And the thing is, the other cat that was in there, 40-something-year-old dude, he was like, man, I don't know what the fuck happened to these dudes. Because he was just standing on his arms crossed, looking, shaking his head. I was like, yeah. And the other two kept trying to, but you know this and that. I'm just listening to them. And I told them, I said, listen, young brothers, I ain't got no input to say. Because I know what I stand on. And I don't do debates. And that's not what this is going to turn into. And whatever you're doing in your life is not for me. I said, but I will tell y'all, it's sad as fuck that you guys have been raised to be little boys and never to grow up. And you have a feminine mindset. Let's just be real. Because that's shit women say. I got the right to do whatever I want. It's my body. Okay, cool. So, I mean, like, what is it about you? When you see, like, example, and I did ask the motherfucker, I said, do you ever see these videos of these women constantly bashing men, talking about men ain't this, men ain't that? Yeah, I said, okay. So, you feel like you a piece of shit? Well, nah, but sometimes men do. I said, all right, no. I said, so it's official, man. They have officially mind fucked you. Because everything coming out of your mouth shows me you've been programmed to think like a sissy. I said, I'm not saying it to hurt your feelings, young brother, but I'm being real. They done turned you to a little sissy. And the 30-year-old dude was like, I mean, but like when you think about it, right? Men been doing. I said, no, listen, y'all not understanding me. Okay? You're talking to a thoroughbred. You dudes are mutts. You're mixed. You know, when dogs are mixed, they call them mutts. All right? You guys are mixed. You're mutts. Y'all don't understand this. The fact that you're okay with somebody clapping them cheeks and it ain't you, sissy shit. The fact that you are defending them for even wanting to fuck somebody else, sissy shit. And I guarantee you got that mindset. You're going to buy whatever she wants and do whatever she wants. If your ass got to do 3 over fucking times, okay? A week, 4, whatever. You got to work 2 fucking jobs, whatever it is to make her happy, you'll do it. Even if it's killing you. Even if she's taking the money you're giving her and spending it with the other guy or whatever the hell she's doing. I said, on top of that, you don't even feel any type of way about it. It's up to her. Now, think about it. That movement that they got all the men wearing red dresses in support of their little movement, I'm like, yeah, right. What do y'all think that's about? What do y'all think that's about? This is the only way we can truly show support. Whose idea was that? See, this is where I say, when you talk about morals, it's going to be subjective with people. Well, how can you say this is bad morals? Because we were raised on something different, right? Here's the deal. There's a lot of people who don't understand. If you don't stand up for yourself and you just bend over for people because, well, I don't want to feel like I'm being, all this. I don't feel like I'm hating. I don't want them to think this. I don't care nothing about what people think. People don't care about how you feel. They don't care about how things affect you. As long as they're okay, that's what's okay with them. So you're putting somebody else's feelings over your own, to the point where you're willing to make an ass out of yourself just to keep this person. So maybe you one of them dudes, obviously, like if she told you, no, I'm gonna fuck him and you're gonna sit and watch, and then you're gonna cuck him afterwards. I gotta be real, man. That shit turned my stomach, man. And I ain't gonna lie, I told him, I said, man, I just feel disappointed in the way y'all think, honestly. And he was, but you know this and this and that. And the fact, it's like a female trying to explain themselves as if you're going to say something that I just never thought about, and I see your point. Nah. So, I mean, and yeah, I just feel like I can think about when I was a kid, how we played in school, how we played, on our streets that we lived in, and friends in your backyard, you in their backyard or whatever. Little boys wasn't playing with dolls. When I was growing up, little boys didn't even like stuffed animals. As a baby, you don't know no better. So we talk about from the time that you can see and pick up stuff, and you don't know any better. So by the time, 3 or 4 years old, but by the time you 5 and 6, little boys ain't want no stuffed animals, man. We used to play with Hot Wheels and Tonka trucks and action figures and shit like that. And, them big electric football games and all that shit. We went to school, we had the lunchbox. Remember the lunchbox that had all 28 football teams? It was only 28 back then. But you remember how they had those? Man, we wasn't walking around with, like, little boys, we walk around with them little stuffed animals, little pink elephants, and little shit. Seniors in high school do it. They attach it to the zippers of their book bags and shit like that, right? And I'm just like, what the fuck happened? Where did this feminine shit come from? Why is the male species so fucking it's like they were against being masculine. They're against being an actual stand-up man. We didn't want to play with no fucking Barbie dolls. My mother and father wouldn't have bought me no Barbie doll. They wouldn't have bought my sister's action figures, male type. It's like we didn't want that shit. I ain't want no Barbie or no strawberry shortcake action figures and no Barbie's dream. Little boys I don't understand what the fuck you putting under your Christmas tree for your kid. Why are you what is the mission statement in this all? Why are you so hell bent on trying to prove that there's no such thing as gender? We're all the same. Do boys have a fucking menstrual cycle? Do we bleed every month? Can men have babies? Are we not? I mean, what the fuck are you trying to read? It's like they're trying to recreate human beings and shit. And how do you start with that shit? Up here. They're trying to recreate what the fuck we actually are. And I'm just sitting here damn, man, this is sick, man. And I just kind of stood there and thought to myself of I wonder how these motherfuckers probably and then I did say this. I said, y'all fathers not in your lives, are they? They both just looked at me and then looked at each other and smiled. How you know? I said, nah, man. And the fact that they were so clueless to everything I said, yeah, this generation is terrible. Nothing's wrong anymore. You can't correct the person without them getting offended. They didn't get offended, and I wouldn't give a fuck anyway. Because but bottom line, they were trying to explain shit, but I'm saying nothing's wrong anymore. If a dude want to walk around looking wearing skirts and bras and shit and lipstick and whatever, dudes want to walk around the funny thing is the ones that try to play gangster, you trying to act tough wearing female clothes, toe rings and ankle bracelets. I don't understand this mindset. I can't relate to it, and I don't need to. I don't want to. I always said, man, I didn't look. People always tell me, I wish I could be a kid again. I did that already. I live a beautiful life, but when my time coming up and I'm no longer here, cool. It's I don't do this fantasy stuff. But what if you could? No. We can't do all that. Go back in time and do this and change that and whatever. When you're gone, you're just gone. But I mean, I certain things I don't even want to be a part of, man. And to live and one day become an old man, right? I'll still be fit than a motherfucker though. But you know what I'm saying? Just to sit back and just look at how the world changed. Remember that scene? Remember when it was Life with Martin and Eddie Murphy and Martin, Remember that scene when Martin went to take the guy to pick up the sheriff or whatever? Remember that guy that was Sheriff Pike? And it happened to be the guy that, set them up in the first place. But remember that scene when Martin got out the car and he looked around and he had been locked up for so long, right? People didn't understand the statement in that too. Just like they got locked up in what, the 30s, the 40s or something like that? I think the 30s, early 30s. And just think about it. The motherfuckers ain't seen anything outside of that camp, that fucking prison he was in 40 years, right? He ain't seen himself in the mirror, right? Nothing. Now think about it. And he looked around, you got black people and white people together, not segregated. It's the 70s, the hairstyles are different, motherfuckers got the radio. And you see when Martin looked and you see his lips go like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, it's like a whole new world. I swear, that's what this shit feels like right now. That's exactly what this feels like right now. When I look around, I'm like, yo, what happened to human beings, man? And I look at like us black people as a race of people, and I'm like, where did this soft shit come from, man? I'm just being real. Where did this shit come from? Since when the fuck when? This don't sound weird to y'all. Oh, baby, I just want you to know, so you don't have to hear from nobody else. When we was arguing tonight, I got pissed off. You pissed me off. I left out the house. You remember my old boyfriend, Rodney? So, okay, he saw me. We talked. One thing led to another. I sucked his dick. He fucked me in the ass. It came all over my face and my titties and all that. He's playing on my ass crack and sucking on my toes. And we, because I was pissed off. But I just want you to know. And I'm going to see him tonight. We I don't know what we're doing, but you still love me? Of course I still love you. That's why I'm telling you. I'm just letting you know what happened. I'm not going to lie to you. I love you too much to lie to you. So, but if I do fuck him, it's not like I'm leaving you. It's just sex. That's all. Okay, have fun. Tell him I said hello. That seems normal to you? Because this is exactly what's happening. You can't tell me what to do, but I can tell you what to do. The main thing that we do, because I want children, I want a home, I want X amount of cars, is make sure you hold up your end of the bargain on responsibilities and take care of me. That's all I care about from you. It's not you, it's what you can do for me. This is normal to you guys? You really don't look at this shit and go, wait, what the fuck is this? Nah, you don't feel insulted that somebody think that you're supposed to put up with that kind of shit? Nah, man, I can't. I can't, man. And, now me and the other brother, 42-year-old, he was telling me, he said, man, I was talking to them like a good hour before you came over, man. He said, nah, I couldn't even believe what the fuck that was coming out their mouths, man. He said, I'm just standing there looking at them. Man, they talking all types of shit about, if the woman want to bend you over or have you in the, legs up in the air looking like a big bitch. And I'm like, bro, I don't even want to hear no more of this shit. He's like, he's like, I feel you, big dog. He said, this is what I'm saying. Like, what the fuck? Like, wait. I'm like, yeah, this is crazy. See, and this is my thing. It's always like, it can't be, I have your best interest in mind. You have my best interest in mind. It has to be, you do what I say, or I'm not happy, and we're not gonna last. You're not going to last anyway. Then why would you put yourself, first of all, so low on a damn totem pole where you don't put anybody above you? Let me tell you something. People come and go. And if a person is meant to be, like I see married couples that they refer to each other as my baby mama and my baby daddy. I see situations where your kids know about 3, 4, 5 baby daddies, and they be talking about, and my daddy coming to get me tonight, and my other daddy coming to get me tomorrow, and then Sunday my other daddy. Like, wow, you hear this and it's like, there's no more family structure. There's no more family oriented events and functions, and everything is just like, even something that says, made for kids, it's really not something that kids should be listening to. I mean, like, you got kids that be, they sit up and watch girls twerking and all that shit on, these social media apps and all of that. They sitting there watching. I mean, they got access to porn and all that. The parents are no longer monitoring what the kids are watching and all kinds of shit. But the crazy thing about it is, it's like you got that person that want to show you things like, just say, for example, right? Why is it that it doesn't bother you that a person is doing something for you that makes them unhappy, but they're doing it to make you happy? Why does that bother you? And why is it that you always want to change the mindset? So imagine you buying your son, Spider-Man, Incredible Hulk figures, Blue Marvel and all that, Storm, and somebody going, oh, so you're going to discriminate? Why can't he have a doll? Probably smack the shit out of him. Mind your fucking business. Like, bottom line. But that's the shit that people be on. Like these talks that people have. These little boys growing up without a father are growing up to be sissies and weak. Little girls are growing up with big mouths, outspoken, nobody can tell them shit, and they're very disrespectful. And then when you put the two together, it's like, one wants to be dominant over the other. And we talking about a whole generation of people to where even the older ones get influenced and go with the flow of this shit. Because truthfully, like somebody said, it's because people stopped following the Bible. Well, the Bible ain't help us get shit. If the Bible was as powerful and as people say, all this shit y'all believe, then we wouldn't be in this predicament we're in. And I don't want to hear that bullshit about it's because we got free will. Okay, so my free will is stronger than your fucking God? So it ain't got nothing to do with no fucking free will and all that bullshit. Bottom line is, people just get to because let's not forget, Donald Trump, he goes to church too. So what? Big deal. People had slaves and was Christians. So big fucking deal. Don't make you a good person. But bottom line, all of this stuff that people are saying, man, these boys growing up without fathers, these little girls growing up without fathers, the male has been erased. If you notice, it's like back in the day, we used to watch shows like Sanford and Son. I was a little kid, so, one parent in the house. Good Times had two parents, but initially they wanted only one. You know what I'm saying? And then the chick Esther Roll, she fought to get her husband on the show because, she didn't like the way they was depicting black people in that sense. Always just one parent. That's my mama. One parent in the house. What's happening? One parent in the house. The father occasionally popped up on a couple episodes, but he was a lying, sneaky motherfucker. Okay? It was always a stereotype. And then when they make the Jeffersons, well, George and Weezy are well off, but George is a little con artist and shit. It's always something, man. Even like, look, for example, look at the show Different Strokes. So this guy, Mr. Drummond, adopt these two little black kids, but it's funny, he don't have a wife either. It's always, and his little siblings are black, but even though his son, the kids he adopted was black, but bottom line, and he's well off with money on the show. But the whole point still, it's always just something about the one parent situation. But with our people, we was just broke, going through it. We needed each other. So without having that need, that wouldn't even, held up either, because people just have this I do what I want mentality. And we always watch this shit. And I'm like, wow, look at the new fucking show. The new Good Times, that animated bullshit. It's like, so there's been no progression in the show. So they're just as poor now as they was back when the show first started. So you reboot this shit in an animated form. Now the little kid, Michael, is a baby on there. This motherfucker's a drug dealer. Yeah, I mean, you understand what I'm saying? It's always this, we play the role of the bad guys. We could never just be good people. We could never be level-headed. We could never have balance. It's one or the other. And I just feel like, man, kids grow up seeing this shit, it becomes normal to them. The music that we listen to, everything. And if you notice, if you see like these police shows, like everything, and men get arrested, since when did this fuck dudes start crying like little bitches? Every time they cry over every little thing, then their feelings, all this mental health issue shit, and I'm like, wow. But we said a long time ago, they're trying to demasculate us. They're trying to make men very sensitive and feminine-like. In fact, listening to these brothers say this shit, man, it made me think about some chick. I don't know what the fuck it was. I don't know if it was an HBO special or whatever. It was something. And I remember some porno chick was talking about, like, when the guy asked her, what's one of the things that turn you off about a man? What can a man do that turns you off about you? She said, my number one thing is when a man see me and like, oh, I know who you are. Like, okay, you want to talk to me, don't come to me talk about about my job. Like, okay, so you know that he's aware of who you are because he's been buying porn, right? All right, so the thing is, she goes, get to know me. What I do on video, that's work. That's for the cameras. That's not who I am as a person. Like, the delusion. Make that even make sense. But then, she's saying also that her other turnoff is men can't handle what she do for a living. They're insecure. I'm like, wow, look at the wordplay. You're insecure. No, I say this. You have to be pretty stupid to want to marry or settle down with a porno chick, or vice versa with a guy. And those are the real swingers anyway, for the most part, because they want to do whatever they want. So I come home to you, we both do porn. You sitting there watching videos of people fucking your woman, other women fucking your man. Y'all swapping each other with. I mean, what's special about y'all, man? I see no need to marry somebody or date, like, settled to say you're my woman. How the fuck how are we settled down? We still fucking other people. How? So, point what I'm saying is, take religion away from it. Okay, with or without religion, your morals are based on doing things like, if I wouldn't do it, I wouldn't like it done to me, I won't do it to you. Simplest rule of thumb. How is it, right, that all the things that we were taught to stay away from and move this way, it's like now, it's almost like you might as well just say, oh, well, see, your generation got it wrong, or your parents' generation got it wrong, and their parents' and y'all motherfuckers got it right. You lay in the bed with your woman, baby. I was just thinking, what? Nah, never mind. No, what? All right, my ex is in town. And I ain't gonna lie, she used to suck me off so good that, like, oh man, she want me to come see her. I don't want you to feel no type of way though, but I really do want to see her. And yeah, I plan on fucking her, but what I have with you is far more important than that. This is nothing but sex. This is just satisfaction, and once we done, and I go my way, she go her way, and then, I'm just saying, at least I'm honest. If I tell you I'm a fucker, I'm gonna fuck her. Well, babe, just promise me you won't leave me for. Oh, nah, baby, I love you. I don't love her. This is just about. I got feelings for her. I ain't gonna lie, but I'm not planning on leaving. I'm just attracted to her, and I feel like we got unfinished business. Okay, have a good time. I love you. Tell me you love me. Oh, I love you too, babe. Baby, please don't. I'm not gonna leave you. Come here, baby. That don't sound stupid as fuck to you. This is the actual direction that they're pushing shit. If I feel like I want to fuck my ex, if you truly love me, you will understand that. You will support me on that. I don't love her. I don't pay bills with her. You understand what I'm saying? I do that with you. I marry you. I said I do to you. She's just sex. You are my lover, my woman, my everything. That don't sound like some bullshit, because this is exactly what I'm telling you is happening. So now, when you have substance and you stand for something, you have self-respect and dignity. That's old-fashioned. So, you come home and your little 5-year-old son walk around with high heels on, a dress, lipstick, and a wig, switching. Why? Why do we want to do this to our kids? Why? I'm just saying, y'all, let's be real. You're grown, rusty ass, you do what the fuck you want as a grown adult. That don't mean I like it or agree with it, but I'm just saying, why are we doing this to our kids? Why are we trying to persuade kids to be something that they're not? So if your kids sit there and look at a fucking bird and like the way this bird look and how it glides through the air, your son come and tell you, Father, just so you know, don't call me by my name anymore. I identify as a bird. Okay, son. What kind of bird is this? Okay, Jaybird. Okay, so your new name is, okay. And you have the characteristics of a Jaybird? Okay. All right, I'm sorry for all the time I named you and been calling you by your name, but I'll call you Jaybird from now on because you identify as a fucking bird. All this goofy shit that's going on, man. I swear, this is like chaos for nothing. But look, I'm going to close this video, man. I just thought this was crazy. But this is where we're going. We know we don't have to answer to each other. We don't have to. We just pay bills together, and it's your responsibility to take care of me, right? Anyway, y'all, tell me what y'all think in the comment section. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people. I will catch y'all on the next video.